Welcome back to our investigation into one of the most perplexing and haunting cases in true crime history. In our last episode, we explored the 1992 civil wrongful death lawsuit brought by the family of Steven Hicks, where Jeff, his parents Lionel and Joyce, and his father's girlfriend Shari were implicated. Yet, the $10 million judgment fell solely upon Jeff, suggesting a plea deal that protected his family. The story of Steven Hicks, often cited as Jeff Dahmer's first victim, is shrouded in mystery and contradictions. It's said that on June 18, 1978, Jeff picked up Hicks, drove him to his family home, and tragically ended his life with a barbell. But conflicting accounts raised doubts. Did Jeff and Steven engage in a physical altercation leading to the homicide? Or was there another motive behind this alleged act? Reports claim different timelines and details. Some suggest homosexual relations occurred, others deny it. The FBI vault offers yet another version, further muddying the waters. The hitchhiker is picked up and taken to Jeff's home, where sexual acts occur before the victim is killed with a barbell. Hicks is then taken to a nearby field dismembered days later, and the evidence destroyed. However, the confession states Jeff moved the body to nearby woods, leaving it for 2 weeks, and incorrectly claims Jeff met Hicks around October 1978 when Jeff was at Ohio State University for months after Steven Hicks disappeared on June 18, 1978. Another version of events in the confession says his father was in a motel 5 to 10 miles away. The body was dismembered, stored in bags in a car, and Jeff was stopped for driving left of center, passed a sobriety test, then disposed of the body in a drainage pipe behind his house for a couple of weeks. This scenario's feasibility is questionable. Jeff also describes the Hicks incident as an accident, a haunting tragedy that gave him nightmares for years and left a long-lasting impact on his conscience. In short, the confession document and the FBI vault offer different versions of events, with a barbell as the only constant. Forensic attempts to identify Hicks through radiograph comparisons were inconsistently documented. Even official birth dates conflicted. Hicks was reportedly identified through an examination of the 5th cervical vertebrae, compared to a post-mortem X-ray of the same bone, aiding in confirming his identity. Note that the date of birth provided for Steven Hicks in this FBI entry is June 22, 1959. However, his birth date here is shown as June 27, 1959, a 5-day discrepancy. Is this identification method reliable? Considering the inconsistencies between the confession and FBI vault information, what about the rest of Steven Hicks? On Friday, May 1, 1992, at the Ohio trial, Jeff again waived all his constitutional rights to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, echoing the drama of the Wisconsin trial. But just how solid was the evidence against him? Here's that video clip from the trial.
The prosecution just said, in terms of presenting to the court a proposed Rule 11 plea agreement, and you also heard what your attorney just said, Mr. Villiman. Are those representations correct in terms of your intentions here this morning?
Yes, they are.
Mr. Dahmer, you have a number of constitutional rights that the court will now review with you. It's important for the court to understand that you fully understand what your rights are, and that in the process of entering this plea this morning, that in effect you are waiving or giving up those rights. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
First of all, you have the right to have a trial. Now, at that trial, the prosecution has the burden of proving that, in fact, these charges, as contained in the indictment, are true. And they have to prove those charges by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. By coming forward this morning and entering a plea of guilty, you are waiving or giving up your right to that trial. You also relieving the state of its burden of proof. You're giving up your right to confront your accusers. You're giving up your right to have your attorneys cross-examine the state's witnesses. You're giving up your right to subpoena witnesses on your own behalf. By coming forward at this time and entering a plea of guilty, you're giving up your right against self-incrimination. If you were convicted at a trial, you would have the right to appeal to another court. If you could not afford an attorney for that appeal, this court would appoint one to represent you. You are giving up your right to appeal of these particular charges here that you will be pleading to. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
In both the Wisconsin and the Ohio trials, no trial took place to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Media coverage further complicated the truth, offering sensational narratives with varying details. It's widely believed Jeff Dahmer lived alone, neglected by his parents post-divorce. However, reports show his mother was present during Hicks' disappearance, challenging the abandonment narrative. For instance, the Akron Beacon Journal highlights a tense moment in the custody battle for his younger son David, where Lionel revealed to the court that Joyce defied a court order by leaving the family home with David on or around August 24, 1978, without permission. Did Jeff protect his mother from complicity charges? Was his confession a cover-up for deeper family secrets? With the $10 million lawsuit pointing towards a motor vehicle accident and the concealment of a death, these questions linger as we strive to unveil the true story of Steven Hicks. Thank you for joining us on this dark exploration. Stay tuned and subscribe as we continue to unravel the truth about Jeff Dahmer.